me, Lois with OzzyLosi Knit Designs, and I'm back with a Knit Bits episode to talk to you about and also how to demonstrate how to make a garter stitch tab. Knit Bits is a segment where I talk about little bits of knitting information, and if that's the sort of thing that you like, then would you please subscribe to my channel? And your likes, comments, and shares really help small businesses like mine be seen by others. So I just want to thank you in advance for all the love that you show to these videos and to all the posts and all of that good stuff. So now, if you haven't made a shawl yet, then you may not know what I'm talking about when I say a garter stitch tab, and that's okay. But if you've made a shawl or two or three, you may have come across the term garter stitch tab and thought, what the heck is that? I've never heard of that before. And if you're like me, a little bit anxious, you might have been like, eek. Or you just like learned how to do it. You realized it wasn't a big deal and you went on with your life. Well, not all shawls are knit with a garter stitch tab. Okay, so for example, if you're knitting like a bottom up shawl, right, you don't really need a garter stitch tab since the bottom hangs down. So it doesn't require extra stability. You can start with just 3 stitches and grow, and it's not going to impact the shawl at all. If you're knitting from the inside out, like say a square or a circle shawl, you won't need a garter stitch tab because again, the center is stabilized in how it's being knit. So in those situations, you really don't need a garter stitch tab. If you're knitting something rectangular or knitting from end to end, all of those good things do not require a garter stitch tab. But there are times when a garter stitch tab is very useful. So when you're knitting from the top down and the weight of the shawl is resting quite literally on those first few stitches, and you don't want to start off with 3 stitches, right? Because those 3 little stitches are going to get stretched pretty easily if all the weight is laying on them. So having something of substance can really add to the stability of your shawl when it's hanging on your shoulders. And that's where a garter stitch tab can come in to really help stabilize that shawl. And garter stitch tabs can come in a variety of different sizes, and it's really determined by the designer. They're often like 9-inch garter stitch tab, but the shawl pattern that I'm releasing in July is actually going to have a 15-stitch garter tab, so it's a little bit bigger. That was intentional because a 5-stitch garter is used throughout the pattern, and so I just wanted to start off with a multiple of 5. Anyway, the main key is that you know how to make one. No matter what the number is, you can feel confident in knitting one up. And so now that we understand when and why we want to use a garter stitch, what purpose they serve, then I'm going to switch to my hands so we can get started. And you are so welcome to join me. I hope that you will get some knitting or some yarn and some needles, and we're going to go. Now I am using just some yarn that I have on hand, and I'm also just using some larger than I would normally use needles because I hope that that's going to help it show up better. Let me turn on this light. Extra light is always good, I think. That's what my husband tells me. We'll believe him. Although it is casting a shadow. Let's see how this goes. Oh. So often I think a 9-stitch garter tab is what I've seen the most. And if you've seen something else, it's fine. It doesn't matter. I think the main takeaway is that they're knit in numbers that are divisible by 3, right? So if you do a 9-stitch garter stitch tab and you divide that by 3, you cast on 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And I'm actually going to do what I did for my design, which is 15. Again, divisible by 3 because it's 5. So let's cast on the 5 stitches. Okay, the next part is just knitting back and forth to make a little tiny piece of fabric that is in garter stitch. So for my 15-stitch garter stitch tab, let me just get some yarn loose here. We are going to knit back and forth a total of 10 times. So we do not want to slip a first stitch. Don't do that. We'll just knit it like normal, whatever that means for you. I am a flicker. This kind of knitting is called flicking. If you're a picker, that's great. If you are a thrower, it doesn't matter. We just want to knit across. And you don't want to do anything fancy like slip stitches or knit through the back loop, nothing. Just straight up garter stitch all the way across, because we kind of need this to be true garter stitch through and through, and you'll see why. So I knit one, now I'm on two. So we want to take this and turn it 90 degrees, okay? And then I'm going to come in close here because I really want you guys to see this part. This is the part that's important. All right, we've knit 10 rows, and we are going to pick up a stitch in this spot. Let me stretch it out a little. So I'm going to be picking up these stitches along the garter stitch row, like right under here. Right under there, right under there, right under there, right under there. We're going to pick up 5. Okay, we're going to pick up 5 stitches. There, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then we'll have 10 stitches and we'll be almost there. So the way that we want to do that is holding our knitting like we're about to knit normal, but we're not. Instead, we're going to insert our knitting needle right in to that first stitch. Let's see. Can you see that? Oh, my lighting is so terrible. I'm trying. There. Do you see that? So if you look in yours really close, so we'll just insert our needle and we're going to knit a stitch there. This is picking up a stitch, and we've got 1. Then we're going to do it on the next one. Okay, same thing. We want to insert our needle right into that spot, and we're going to knit 2. And then we're going to do the same thing again, 3. And then we're going to do the same thing again, 4. And then we're going to do the same thing again. And this one's a little awkward because it is that cast on. That's okay, guys. I promise you, do not over stress out about this last one, because once you knit a whole shawl, this one little tiny added on stitch is not even going to show up. It's just not. All right, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Our 5 stitches that we cast on with and then knit, and then the 5 that we just picked up. So now we get to pick up 5 more stitches, and we're just going to do that along our cast on edge. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And for that, I usually go through both arms of that stitch. So if you can see an arm here and an arm here. Oh, I'm so far away from my camera. Okay. Sorry. I go through both. The lighting is so bad. Let me adjust this again. Is that better? I think that's better. A little better. Okay. You can see the leg of the stitches here and here. And then this one got a little smushed. It's smushed. It's okay. So here and here. So that's what I'm going to go into, because that's 2. It just looks tiny. 3, 4, and 5 on the end. So we'll just go here and we'll insert our needle through both of them and pick up that. So now we've got 11, and then do that again here. 12, and then do that again here. You don't want to go through one leg on your cast in because it'll create a hole. I didn't say that, but that's what you should not do that. 4, and wait, is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. No. I can count 15. Okay. And it starts getting a little difficult to see, but it's okay. Partly that's because the yarn I picked up, I was like, that'll be so easy to see on camera. I never know what's going to be easy to see on camera. And then we're at the last one, which is kind of like the slip knot area. So it's okay. We're just going to, yeah. So I'm picking up and I'm being really careful here. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. Okay, not really. But like there's the stitch here and the stitch here. I don't want one string on my needle. I'm actually going to go through both on both so that I don't create any awkward holes. Okay, and there we go. Now we've got 15 stitches. So then all we have left to do, and don't worry if it looks funky, it's just because you just picked it up. It looks funky. Look at how funky it looks. It'll be fine, I promise. And then we'll just knit back. It'll be okay. All the way across. Here's our garter stitch tab. And then we can grab our cute little stitch marker and stick it wherever, because this is the right side of our fabric. Okay? And there it is. I don't know, like, this is awkward. I should have put it to the back. My bad, guys. Anyway, but yeah, there it is. So you can see like it's a little stretched out garter when you get to those last ones that you added, but it's totally fine because in the big scheme of things, again, it's just going to really start looking different. And this is our full tab. This is our full garter stitch tab. It is going to provide so much nice stability for a shawl. And so we don't have to worry about those 3 stitches like stretching out way too much. You would do the same thing if you were making a 9 stitch garter stitch tab. Let me just like move this out of my face. If you were doing a 9 stitch garter tab, right, you would divide the 9 stitches by 3, so 3 stitches, cast on 3 stitches, and then knit and garter stitch for 6 rows, right? Then turn 90 degrees, pick up 3 stitches along that garter stitch, and then turn 90 degrees and pick up 3 stitches along the cast on edge, and now you've got your 9 stitches. And so it's really not a complicated thing to do, but if you've never done it before, it can feel intimidating. So I hope that this tutorial video helped you in taking away any confusion you might have, and making you see that it really is simple. It's probably nothing that you haven't done before, although maybe you've never picked up stitches before. So you get to add that to your little, I know how to do that, knitting box. So until next time, friends, thank you so much for watching Knit Bits. And if you enjoyed the video today, would you please hit like, share, and subscribe to my channel? A fabulous way that you can support my business is just by liking, commenting, and sharing my content with others, okay? So it doesn't cost any money, just a little bit of time on your part, and I deeply appreciate it. So, bye-bye.